Get ready.
Hey there, Marvel heroes, and welcome back to yet another review. But this today. Let's just start all again, guys. It's the Black Widow. I am just so excited that I'm forgetting my words. So let's just bring me on and just show what kind of a mess I am in. Wow. So that's an experience, guys. Just watched Black Widow in cinemas. First time been to the cinemas since before the pandemic, so that was interesting. I'm going to be talking a little bit about that later. I have had both of my jabs, and that's why I went there. So yeah, Black Widow. I'm going to put this into 3 parts. So first of all, I'm going to talk about, do you need to see the Disney Plus shows that have been on at the moment, or do you need to watch Black Widow for other Disney shows to make sense? If you catch my drift on that, and do you need to watch it straight away, or do you need to get it on Premiere Access on Friday the 9th? So I'm going to talk about all that in the first part, and then the second part is going to be my review. It's going to contain spoilers, so I will put up the spoiler warning. I'm not going to go into vast detail into it because I do want you to watch it, but I'm going to mention a few bits and bobs in there. So if you don't want any spoilers at all, then I recommend skipping that until you've seen the film. But I'm not going to give away massive spoilers apart from the post-credit scene. So there is a post-credit scene, so if you are planning on watching it, then stay till right at the end. Not pre-credit scene, post-credit, right at the end it is. And then the third part, I'm going to talk about how safe did I feel at the cinema, at the movie theater. So first of all, do you need to have seen the Disney Plus shows? So do you need to see WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Loki for this film to make sense? The answer is no, but the post-credits scene, if you have watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier, will make a little bit more sense. So watching the previous shows, you do not need to see them really. It just makes a little bit more sense with one of the characters in the post-credit scene. Going forward, do you need to have seen? Do you need to watch Black Widow to see to make it sense for the other Disney shows? Yes, I do believe you need to watch Black Widow before watching any of the future ones. I'm just going to say Hawkeye, Ironheart, things like that could possibly tie in a little bit with this, mainly Hawkeye. So I'm not going to say any more on that until we go into the review section. You do need to, because this film is set in, excuse my computer making funny noises, you do need to have seen Civil War, Captain America 3 Civil War, because this is set just after, in 2016, so this is where it lies on the Marvel chronological order. It's after Civil War, and before everything else, Infinity War and things like that. That's where it sits, and it's all about, I'm going to talk about this in the review section anyway, it's all about Natasha's life just after she's on the run, really. So yeah, I said about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yeah, so that is pretty much my thing. Do you need to watch the Disney shows? So just a quick recap: you don't need to watch any of the MCU shows on Disney Plus for it to make sense at all. It just makes one character a bit more clear on who it is. But I do think you need to watch Black Widow before watching any of the future TV shows coming to Disney Plus. So that is that little section. So we're going to go on to the second section now, which is the review. So I'm going to pop the spoiler warning up just in case I do put a little bit of spoilers. I'm not going to do it, like I said at the start, I'm not going to do any major spoilers. So there's not going to be any major spoilers in this. So as an overall view of this film, I thought it was a good film. It wasn't a great film. I'm not too sure what I was expecting with the film anyway. It's like I know it wasn't going to be an origin story, and it wasn't going to be a big, massive superhero battling movie. Although it pretty much is. So it was somewhere in between that. So it was a good film, and I think it's just you needed to have Black Widow have her own film, really. To be honest, I think she could have had her own series, so you could have seen more of her adventures pre-Avengers. That would have been great for me to see, I think. Whereas this was just like tying up pre-Avenger. I wanted to see more of pre-Avengers, and there wasn't a lot. It's like the beginning was, and it touches upon the things that happened just before she joined the Avengers, or even before she joined S.H.I.E.L.D. It talks about how she joined S.H.I.E.L.D. and things like that as well, and it mentions Clint in it, Hawkeye, so that was good on there. So I wasn't expecting loads, so to me it was a good film. So I wasn't disappointed coming out today. I still enjoyed it. I will watch it again when it comes out on Disney Plus. I still will watch that on there. Natasha's character, great character, as always. You see a change a little bit in this film, as every film your characters do change slightly, so you learn more about her past. Like I said, not a lot, but you do learn more about her past and how she is really, and it's great to see her bond with her other widows and things like that without going into too much detail. Now, another one of those characters is Ilana, and I thought she was an amazing character. She was quirky and funny, and one of the things she used to say, she said in it, is she mocked Natasha from whenever she lands. She flicks her hair up and saying, "You're a poser." And one bit, Ilana lands down and she pulls up and she's like, she doesn't like doing it. So I thought that was really cool. So her character was great. And at one point, Black Widow has some of her old equipment, and that's where you see the white jumpsuit that she's got, and she gives it to one of them, to Ilana, and obviously she's not going to have her suit tailored to her, so it was nice to see that the costume was a bit baggy. It didn't sit fully right on her, which was great. It was absolutely fantastic. I thought that was a nice little touch there. And the vest that she was wearing in it is the vest that she wears in Infinity War, so this is the origin story of that as well. Alexei, or the Red Guardian, he was a good character, but he was only there for the comedy, really. So little bit disappointed with him, to be honest. It's like I thought it would have been, I wanted more of a powerful character, really, with that. It's like he was strong, and they say about him being Russia's super soldier. That was just like brushed past. So again, with the Falcon and Winter Soldier, you kind of need to see that, or even just Captain America Winter Soldier, where that the Russians were experimenting with the secret soldier serum. So yeah, it's a bit. I wanted to see more of him, really. Whether we will in future, who knows? But I think he was literally just there as a bit of comic relief, really, for that. It is very much a standalone film, I'd say. So you don't really need it to tie in with any other film. It's just what was Natasha doing after Civil War. That's pretty much what this film was, and I wanted it to be, what did Natasha do in the Red Room? when she was part of the Red Room, when she was a widow and things like that. It's like I really wanted to get into the nitty gritties of that, because you touch upon it a little bit in Age of Ultron when Scarlet Witch messes with her mind. So I want to see more of that, but I don't think we will. I think that is now it for the Black Widow main storyline. We might have bits of pieces of cameos and things here and there with her in the different universes. But saying that, with the multiverse coming up now, she could bring back that character, and we might get more of an arc with her, but I highly doubt we will go back to her past, which I was a little bit disappointed with, because I really want to know a lot more about her past and her involvement in that. I would have liked it. It's like a third of it being that, and then 2/3 being the future and bringing it down and things like that. So look, so you right at the beginning, it teases about her blonde hair, because obviously in Infinity War she's got blonde hair because she holds up the hair dye box. And later then she does actually have her white hair, so that's a nice little touch. You get to see how she's got this new Black Widow suit and the vest as well, and her little buttons and things, and also her white short hair. And she had a braid, a little tiny braid in most of the time in this film, so maybe that's a little bit of a nod to Endgame, where she's got that plait in her hair. So I thought, first of all, there was going to be a love interest with Black Widow and this guy who helped her out getting different equipment and things like that. But luckily it wasn't, because I thought, no, she doesn't need a love interest. It's like I always thought that the love interest with Bruce Banner was forced, really, because if anyone, I thought Cap would have been brilliant. It's like, because we knew that Clint and Natasha weren't going to be a thing. There was that part, first of all, in Avengers where we were going, are they going to be a thing? But no, and then found out that he had a family, so it's like, okay, he's not. But then they introduced Bruce Banner and Natasha, and I was like, okay. But I'm glad that there's no love interest in there, because you would have felt bad for Bruce, really, wouldn't you? But anyway, so the end credit scene now. So this is going to be very spoilery. I'm going to talk in detail about the end credit scene. So right at the end, after all the credits come up, right at the end, you've got this scene, and you've got Ilana coming into Natasha's gravestone. So this is post Endgame now, and she's got this gravestone against this tree where and there's all like little flowers and trinkets and stuff around, and it says daughter, sister, and Avenger, and she tidies it all up and sits down and does that little whistle. She does a whistle that her and Natasha do because they were sisters as children. They were brought up as sisters as children, and they had like a little whistle that they used to do to each other. So she does the whistle and she stands, and there's a long pause, and you're like, is it gonna be? Is it gonna? This is the whistle, and then all of a sudden, nose is blown, and it's like, what? And then this black-haired woman, is there, and it is Val from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, who has hired John, what's his name, the fake Captain America, and created him as the US agent, and it shows now that Ilana is an assassin hired by Val now, so she's got work with Val, so that is really interesting that they bring in this character into the film universe as well as the television universe, so that is great. So she gives Ilana her target, and it is Hawkeye. So I think we're going to see her, Ilana and Val, now in the Hawkeye series that will be coming up, and it will all be about, I think there'll be a little bit of conflict between those two, and then maybe bringing down this organization. So maybe US Agent is going to be in Hawkeye as well. There are lots and lots and lots of theories that we could go down. So going back to my first set of things, do you need to see Disney Plus or do you need shows? Yep, we've already covered that. But now it's saying you need to watch Black Widow for the next few. Well, maybe not the next ones, because the next one is What If, but when Hawkeye comes out, you need to know, or you need to have seen that that end cutscene, because you need to know the character. So this whole film is pretty much setting up Ilana. So that's why I'm saying it's a standalone film there. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a good film. I will watch it again because I want to watch it to see if I can pick out any Easter eggs. And because when I watch films, I just watch it for the story and the cinematic feel to it. It's just like I was watching the TV shows and I pick up on the camera angles and things like that. With this film, it's very much quite a lot of handheld camera work on there just to make it raw, the fighting raw, and it's a little bit difficult to concentrate sometimes because lots of things are going on and the camera work is very raw, but that just emphasizes the battles and things like that. So it's not like you've got a pan going across as somebody's fighting and things. It's like if you're in there with the fight, because there's a lot of the fight scenes were like in groups or multiple people onto one and stuff like that. So yeah, pretty good on there. I'm gonna stop the spoiler warning there now because we are I try to keep it as spoiler free as like I said. There's a few details in there that because I want you guys to watch it. It is a good film, and if you love the character Black Widow, you are gonna love this film. I do like Black Widow. She's not one of my favorite characters in the MCU, but she is a great character, and the film is good. So I will be watching it again and picking out these little bits and bobs. So Simon Buckley said, with Disney Plus Premiere, how many times can you watch Black Widow? With Disney Plus Premiere Access, once you buy that, that's yours for life, and as long as you continue with your subscription. The minute you cancel your Disney Plus subscription, you lose it. So, but once you've bought it, that's it. You've got it. So you can watch it as many times as you want. Thanks very much, Simon, for your comment there. I haven't bought it on Disney Plus. A family member is going to be watching it because they don't feel safe enough to go to the cinemas just yet. So I will be watching it again on Disney Plus on Friday. So I can't wait. But this comes to my third and final bit now. Is it safe to go to movie theaters or cinemas? And I do believe it is. It was quite busy there. And there was a lot of groups of friends going to watch it, whether they were in their own bubbles and things like that, I do not know, and I'm not going to comment on that, but it was quite busy. As you expect, it was the first showing in my local cinema for that. Did I feel safe? Yes, I did, because everyone kept their distances, they kept to their little bubbles and things like that. Nobody really encroached on anyone. I had my own hand sanitizer, but there were hand sanitizer stations there. They ask you to keep your masks on, even when you're in the auditorium of the theater. They ask you to keep your masks on. Obviously, when you're eating and drinking, you can take them off, and that's the only time I took my mask off there. So I felt safe there. I wouldn't make it a regular thing. It's like Jungle Cruise is coming out towards the end of this month. I will be purchasing that on Disney Plus Premiere Access. So if you have any doubts about it, I do think it's great. It's okay, but the only problem is coming up to the summer holidays now. It's gonna be busier. They do skip rows, and I do believe that you won't be able to book seats right next to it. So you can only book your how many you need for your bubble, and then I think they will miss 2 seats, I think, then for that 2 meter gap, if anybody's wondering about that. Simon says, excellent, thanks for that, great chat. Thank you very much, Simon. So today's been a very busy day. I did my Loki review this morning, so that is up. So if you haven't seen that there yet, go check out that. And then later, I think around about 5 o'clock, me and Johnny V are going to be going live on our gaming channel. So just pop this up now. I clicked the right button today. So just pop on along onto there, and we've going to be going live on there with the brand new Fallout 76 Brotherhood of Steel questline. So go check that out, and don't forget to check out our Patreon. Without our patrons, we can't continue. It's just thanks very much for everyone who's on there. We want to make lots more content for patrons and for you guys as well, and we can't do that without your support. So thank you very much. Or also you can pop onto Coffee if you just want a one-off little tip to us. Other ways to do it, just share the videos. We do lots and lots and lots of content, as you can see if you just scroll down our page. And Marvel Cinematic Universe poll is finishing this Friday. The link is in the description, so go down and check that out. We've got lots and lots and lots of entries, and I will be doing videos on what your favourite MCU films and TV shows are, your favourite characters and things like that, and I'm really excited to see the results. First of all, Iron Man was winning, but then Cap came back, and yeah, I haven't looked at it in a while, so who knows where that's going with the trinity of the three main Avengers. But thanks very much for watching. If you're not watching this live, then please feel free to pop a comment down, and we shall get chatting. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you do go and watch it. If you do watch Black Widow, do let me know what it's like. If you put in spoilers, then please pop a spoiler warning at the top, so if people are scrolling down the comments, they won't get any surprises. But thanks very much, guys, but until next time.